guys? This is Troy from Cape Ann Conversations, and today we've got Muffy White from Muffy White Organizing and Styling. Muffy, please say hello to everybody and give a quick intro on what your business is and how you got started.
Yeah, hi, thank you for having me. We are a company of professional organizers, and we're also a concierge moving company. It's kind of a fancy way of saying we help homes get decluttered and really help them function and flow in their best possible way. And we help people when they're moving in, out, upsizing, downsizing, whatever it takes. We call it concierge because we're happy to do any part of it. We can plan the whole thing, project timeline, get the movers, deal with everything, or we can just pack your china, whatever you need.
Nice. And you started this, I believe it was 13 years ago.
Yep.
Give us the backstory. What was the first thing that got you into organizing? And this was all by yourself.
Totally. This was kind of random. I happened to get 2 phone calls in 1 week while my mom was visiting me, and they were both family friends, 2 different women looking for help in their closets. One was going back to work and couldn't figure out how to pull outfits together, and the other one had lots to wear, but kind of had too much and it was feeling overwhelmed. So I went into both of their closets and helped them get organized, come up with outfits. If anybody remembers the show What Not to Wear, I used to joke that that was who I was, but the really nice version. And I did it, and it was so fun. Like, it lit me up, and I came home and told my mom, and she said, maybe you should do this for a living. Because I've always been that person. I'm like the house guest who, if I wake up early, might rearrange your spice cabinet. A little, it can be a little odd, but it can also be really nice. So over the next 2 years, I decided to think about it as a business, and I started beta testing different people in my life, asking them if they had anything I could organize or work on with them, and to have them give me feedback. What's the value? And there was tremendous value. And so when my daughter was in 2nd grade, she's my youngest, I decided to kind of try to hang a shingle, wrote a website, got a logo, and was like, let's do this. And it's just escalated from there. I worked by myself for 5 years doing primarily organizing and wardrobes. And then somebody asked me, would you please help somebody with a move? And I said, oh my God, no, that sounds awful. I'd only ever moved like once. And she said, no, he needs help and you're really organized. And I was like, oh my God. So I called the guy and I told him, I've never done this. Do you still want to have a conversation? And he said, yes. Well, we met and I did his move. I learned so much, but the biggest thing I learned was that I loved it and it was so unbelievably helpful. And unlike organizing, when you help somebody move, it's done. Like, once the box is packed, it's done. So
I think there's a lot of overlap, though, too. When you're moving, you're going through clutter, you're decluttering, you're throwing stuff out, you're donating stuff.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of the same behaviors. And how much easier is an unpack when you've done it with an organizational mindset?
Absolutely. And we actually say that all the time because you're paying to pack it, you're paying to move it, sometimes you're paying to store it. So let's make sure it's worth it.
Yeah.
Right? And then we also unpack people. And that's kind of one of our favorite things to do because imagine being unpacked by a professional organizer. Every system is in place out of the gate. The habits that your family is going to create about where do the jackets go? Where do I put my keys? Where? We write the map in conjunction with your family's flow and style. And then you just get to enjoy it and live it. And concurrently, you're going to work, your kids are going to sports, your lives are going on. You're not like losing time to something that is stressful and really time consuming. I mean, I hadn't really put a lot of thought to it before we got into it, but I consider us an amazing godsend to the homes we work in. We're so helpful. So.
Now, does Muffy White still have a junk drawer in her own house?
I don't, only because in my kitchen, I have 2 drawers in my entire kitchen. And I want everyone to pause and think about that because most kitchens have like 10 drawers.
Yeah.
So one has my utensils and one has my large utensils. That's all I've got. But I definitely have forgotten corners. There's always a project to be done at my house. My house runs really, really well, but it is like, I used to think perfection was a goal. I am such an recovering perfectionist. I just want everyone to be happy and be comfortable. And so it doesn't have to look a certain way. It has to feel a certain way. It has to feel calm.
Yeah, I technically don't have a junk drawer, but I have a junk back of door to our utility closet that I've turned into a junk drawer. It keeps everything, and I don't know why I have any of it.
But that's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We're doing the best we can, people.
Well, that's what I always say. Like, it's okay. We are a people of stuff. It's just when you feel like checking in with it. Sometimes, we talked about this earlier, is having a third party to help you manage your stuff is pretty incredible.
So how many people are on the team?
I have 7 people at any given time.
Okay.
Yeah, and our projects, they just vary in terms of what clients need. Sometimes when we're doing a full house move, we might have a team of 5 working, but often when we're doing an organizing project, the clients are most comfortable with 1 to 2 people in their homes. It's personal, and people really like to make sure that not too much is happening at once, depending on the day.
So organizing and moving, 2 core functions that you do.
Yep.
Give us an example of a normal organization that you've done, or one that you've done recently.
Okay. Yesterday we were at a client's home, and it was our second day with the same client, and we were doing a high level edit of her wardrobe. And so this is a woman who loves clothes, gets dressed often, so she has like a need for a lot of her clothes. And she had been thinking about editing and meaning, which is like a code word for getting rid of. It just makes people feel better when you say you're editing your wardrobe versus we're throwing it all away, because we don't throw it away. We did a great deal of consignment and donation for her. So 2 of us went in, and the client was trying clothes on, and we were rearranging them on the hangers and just grouping them so that things really made sense. So when she's reaching for, she's going to a wedding, she knows where she's going to look for those things. What we try to take away from in homes is friction. So friction is anything that wastes time, that gets in the way of you getting your thing done kind of efficiently. So for her, she had clothes stored in random places. We just brought it all together and really streamlined her closet. That was yesterday. But also this week, we are unpacking a client from her 3rd move that we've supported her on. Hopefully, this is going to be the home she stays in for a really long time, and we're helping it get set up so that she can breathe and the family can just get back to life. And then another house we're packing up so they can move to their forever home. They're so excited. They've been in a rental for a while, and they just needed extra hands.
So you talk about people moving. What's the service area for you? Is this a Cape Ann area, or how far are you typically traveling?
Yeah, we will go as far as you need us. We haven't been flown too many places. We did a project in North Carolina, but traditionally we are anywhere Cambridge to Gloucester. But we have clients who, once we have a nice rapport, we'll go to your summer home, we'll go to other homes. We've been brought on to help other family members. Once the trust is created and people understand that we're really kind and gentle in this process, because there's a lot of fear around downsizing or getting rid of items or editing. It's highly personal, and I think once people trust us, they would have us do pretty much anything. So we will travel for you. We will happily work locally for you.
Can we take a minute and break down the barriers of costs for the listeners?
This is important.
We talked about this before, so I did kind of pre-flight this idea. It's not necessarily a luxury expense. It's really, if we jump into it, kind of if I can say it for you.
I'd love you to.
And then you can say it as well, or you can clean me up. Getting 2 people in your house to do an organizational day, to go through your house, to spend 8 hours, to take all of the gear with them when they leave, when they edit, or take stuff on consignment, or take it to Savers, or wherever it may go. We're talking about a couple $100 an hour, maybe a $1,200 day, to do all of the work for you.
Yes.
And to really change your life. And you guys bring in, outside of like building cabinetry and stuff, you also can bring in some organizational tools to help them, whether it be shelving or other organizational pieces. But it's not a break the bank engagement with you.
It isn't. And 2 things that people have said to me more than once is, this is like having your home renovated, because we create space where you couldn't find space.
Yeah.
You were just bumping up against your backpacks and jackets and shoes, and we created a different flow for how to store all of that stuff. And also, we've helped people who said, it feels like a vacation when I'm at home because I'm relaxed there now. So how much would you spend to go on a vacation to Aruba? How much would you spend to add another room to your house?
How much are you already spending on your landscaper to mow your lawn?
Well, I make the parallel to lawn mowing all the time, because organizing is a thing that requires maintenance. It's a deep dive to get started, but then you need to maintain it. And I think that the value of living in a calm home, a home that You're not constantly hunting for things where you can just sit down. You're not always cleaning. Cleaning is often rearranging. It's clearing items so that you can sit on the couch or you can set the table for dinner. You're always moving stuff around. So if you can edit down the number of belongings you have, then you're not moving them around anymore. I mean, it all goes together to create savings, whether it's just your sanity, friction with your partner. Oh my gosh, I can't.
Do you
I
think
could go on.
do you think a lot of the success that you have is getting rid of things for people, helping people get rid of things? Because if you're not getting rid of some stuff, Muffy's
You're
moving
rearranging.
stuff
You're
around.
not organizing. Organizing, you have to have editing somewhere in the process.
Yeah.
So I think we help clients make peace with their belongings.
You're a therapist.
An uncertified therapist.
Yes.
So I play a doctor on TV. But we spend a great deal of time talking to people about like, why are you keeping it and how do you feel about it? And I don't have an agenda other than you feeling really content. I mean, I have an ego. So after we've worked in your house, I want you to hear my name and be like, yeah, they were awesome. They were fun. They were efficient. And my house feels so good. I care so deeply about that, but it's not whether or not you keep the baseball cards. I don't actually care about that. I just care that you feel really good and better in your home as a result of the work that we've done by really listening to you, really listening to what your needs are, and then getting creative and being like, okay, let's try this. And it's an experiment. It's just stuff. We're just going to move it around. It's fine. You know?
Are you typically working in homes? Have you ever done a corporate?
I have done. It's so funny. I have another returning corporate client who is actually closing their office, so we will be helping them shut down. But we've done a few offices. We did Cape Ann CrossFit earlier this year.
Okay.
That was super cool, which was a totally new type of environment for us to work in. We've done, we do a small amount of offices. Primarily, people have us in their homes, but it's not that we wouldn't try.
You must have some great partners too. Whether it be I've cleaned or I've organized this whole place, but like you must know cleaners. You must
Oh my
know
gosh.
you're not necessarily driving a 27-foot U-Haul truck across the country for
Not
somebody.
yet, but I'd like to try.
Somebody is, right?
Yes.
Who are these partners that like or maybe other Cape Ann businesses that you could recommend
Yeah.
to people too?
Well, I mean, I would really attribute a huge part of our success to Mackey Moving Company. So that's a local company owned by Christian Mackey. We started working with them about 6 years ago doing moves, and they help us with every move that we do. It's probably, maybe they've not done some, but they will help us with cleanouts. They will help us with moves. They will help us shift a piano if we're rearranging a room. They are unbelievable. They also support us specifically because one of our kind of highlights to our company is that we do not, in the editing process, try to throw anything away that has potential use again. So we donate exhaustively within the community. Between Second Glance, which supports the open door, and Together Gloucester, which is another local organization that supports people and families in need, very specific needs. Whenever I'm working in a house and I know that list that's about to be donated, I will hit up my team and say, who needs what and how can we get it to you? And it's unbelievable. That is a magical part in helping our clients separate from an item. When they know that the thing they're getting rid of is going to help a family, it feels so much better because the number one hang up people have, well, there's two, but the first is money. I spent money on that. That was my paycheck. That was the first thing I ever bought, or who knows what the story is. And that matters. Like our effort and our money, our investment. But hanging on to it for that reason, that doesn't fill you up. Like that weighs you down. So knowing it's going to good use again feels really, really good. The other thing that holds most clients up with a thing is some sentimental relationship to it. It was gifted to them. It was a wedding gift. It was gifted from a person in their family who maybe passed away. And how do I possibly let go? And we just work with the clients to help them find peace around letting go or keeping it if it works. But keeping a grand piano in a home that doesn't have space, it's not going to work in the long run. So,
So
yeah.
Before we wrap here, tell us about some of the other stuff you're working on, how this community can help you. I know you've got some community partnerships and
Ooh,
foundations, but you get a chance
no,
to
this is great.
shameless
This
plug.
leads in really well. So after I leave here, I'm going over to the Second Glance because I'm going to be participating in a new event that they're hosting, a fundraiser called Thrift the Runway. It's a fashion show. It's in September. I don't have the date, but I'm going to be a sponsor for it and I'm going to participate in it. Hello, Catwalk. So Second Glance, the open door, can't say enough great things about them. Um, Gosh, we donate to Together Gloucester, Wellspring House, Pathways. All of these groups help our neighbors be stronger and healthier. And we're so grateful to live in a community that has so many places we can give to that are directly giving back to us at the same time.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome that you
yeah.
guys aren't just wasting or throwing it away to make it easy. That's an easy way out.
Well,
And
that's
it's
what I
not-
would say. When you run out of time on a move, that's when the mistakes happen. So we try to help you kind of live a little more organized. So when moves happen, it doesn't feel quite so overwhelming.
So everyone listening to this has that part of their house that they need organized and or is in the middle of moving. How would they get in touch with you?
Oh, yeah. So my website is muffywhite.com. You can go right there, start there, fill out a form. You can find all my social media channels there too, which is a lot of fun if I do say so myself. It's worth following the videos. And yeah, reach out. We'll make it happen. We can help almost everybody. It's just schedule. That's probably the thing that will get in our way.
Yeah, it's free to chat. It's free to
Yes.
figure out like if this is going to work for you. So give Muffy a call. I will tell you we've been talking on this, but before as well, and it's like free fun.
Yeah. Oh, we're
To
fun.
just call and learn more about organizing. I think I'm taking you up on it for my attic.
Oh, baby.
It's a disaster.
We'll do some nice before and afters, people. Watch
Yeah.
out for them. That's the fun of Instagram, is seeing the before and afters.
Muffy White, organizing and styling. Muffy, thank you for coming
Oh
on.
my gosh, thanks for having me. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah.